We'll start with our favorite underdog bet. We have two today. We were in agreement last week on Tuesday. That one hit. That was the Buffalo Sabres at the Edmonton Oilers. Hopefully our luck continues. Smaller dogs, but still good prices here. You go first.
So my pick here is the Canucks. They have started the season 0-4 with four consecutive multi-goal leads getting blown, which is pretty fascinating. But with that said, they have played better than that. If you had watched the entirety of those games, I think for 50 minutes of each of them, they're probably the better team. And the Wild have scuffled horribly themselves. Their goaltending situation is a train wreck. And this is just a spot where at this number, I'd rather bet on Thatcher Demko and the Canucks finally closing one of these games out than the Wild finding it when their play's been pretty horrific too.
Yeah, I like Vancouver too. Plus 155 against the Wild right now. You can look at it a number of different ways. One of the ways, if you're trying to find an angle in on Vancouver and you want to sleep better at night, and you are betting on Vancouver on Thursday, you could say, look, they're doing something right. They're getting ahead in these games. They're getting ahead by multiple goals. And you'd imagine that having Demko behind you, one of the best goalies in the league, some of these leads are going to get over the line. And like you said, the Wild, known as one of the best defensive teams in the league, 0-3, allowing 6.67 goals against per game. Obviously, that number is going to come down, and you'll see Marc-Andre Fleury trend better. But it's not like he's not had bad seasons in the past where he's just been bad for an entire season. So
he's far from a lock to be a strong goalie this year. I don't know where he gets that perception that he has. He's kind of just, everyone loves him, but we talked about it in the preseason. He's not a lock to be a strong starter this year. And we've already seen him resort to Gustafsson, which is a disaster. And I think it's just one where, someone has to win, and they've both been bad, but I'd much rather have Demko and the bigger number here.
Exactly. It comes down to the number. You flipped it, we'd be talking about the Wild here. My favorite underdog, I like the Los Angeles Kings. They're plus 170 in Pittsburgh. Tough spot. The Penguins are minus 200. The reason I like the Kings here, they're playing these high event games to start. I think that we could see another one. The over is 4-1 in LA versus Pittsburgh. And that just isn't what the Penguins want to do. They want to kind of play a controlled defensive style. They have a really good defensive structure under Mike Sullivan. And the goaltending, I think, is a complete wash, whether it's Jari, DeSmith, Quick, Peterson, whatever combination of that. I think there's no real distinct advantage to scare me off at this number. The Penguins are the better team. They're at home. The Kings are traveled across the country now, kind of in fits and starts. They played in Nashville, won in overtime on Tuesday night. But this was a really good 5-on-5 team last year, the Kings. The Penguins were too. So I don't expect them to kind of just get played off the ice here. And you're getting a big number on a team that was really solid last year at even strength. I think it's big enough to go against Pittsburgh.